So Michael Penix just did a press conference about him returning back to OTAs, and he says he's feel great. He's been throwing the ball around. He's been getting some reps in and not doing too much. Like he said, he didn't want anybody to fall on his leg, obviously. But other than that, he's doing a really good job at, returning and getting back into true form. And if you've seen the press conference, you also notice that it looked like he bulked up a little bit, like he gained a little bit more muscle mass, which is always good. You always want to continue to be in shape and try to be the best version of yourself. So that is a good thing. But with that being said, I think that this whole situation with Michael Penix is actually pretty solid. I mean, he is returning a lot quicker than I thought he would be. I thought that he was going to be in trouble of possibly losing that QB1 status, even though that is kind of up in the air. I think the consensus in the fan base kind of figured that Michael Penix is still QB1. And with him being injured, when you're not available, then, Tua or Simeon or even Jack Strand could come in and be like, hey, look, we're going to, try to take this job. And it is a competition, but with him getting back into full swing, hopefully he'll be available for week 1. If not, maybe it'll be a little bit later in the season unless something else happens with another player, if they ball out or, his rehab is not as going as fast as we thought. But it is a good feeling that he is back, and it is a good thing because one thing I will say, I never questioned his talent. I think he has the tools to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, no question. But I've always felt like his injury history is a problem. I mean, when you have, what, 5, 6 injuries, within a 7, 8 year span. I mean, that is something to really, look at. I mean, no matter how much you like the guy, that is something to think about. But nevertheless, look like he's going to be fine. Now, what does this mean for the quarterback, the quarterback room for the Falcons? That doesn't mean much, really. You know that these guys still got to go out there and compete. I don't think Kevin Stefanski and them are even thinking about who's QB1 at the moment, but we all know that it's between Tua and Penix. I mean, that's just what it is. It's going to be one of those two. Now, unless Jack Strand do something phenomenal and blow everybody away within, the next few months, it's going to be one of those two guys. Now, both of these guys are injury prone. Now, we do know that, and that is a cause for concern. But at the same time, these guys are immensely talented. And this is what you want, especially with Penix, as being a younger guy, has a little bit more upside. I think he's slightly younger than Tua, a little bit more upside, and I think that he does captivate the culture of the Atlanta Falcons and the city of Atlanta. This is the type of quarterback that we want, whether you want to think that it's, real or not. I mean, most people in Atlanta want a quarterback like Michael Penix. That's just what it is, At the end of the day, that's just how it goes. So with that being said, I like what I see here. I like the fact that he's actually out there throwing the ball, participating in OTAs. I know he's going to be very limited. He's still going to be working on his rehab. But at the end of the day, you got to start somewhere. You can't just wait till you're fully healthy and say, hey, let's throw him out there. He still got to get some of that rust off. He still got to have the mechanics down. He still got to be able to, show that he still can throw the ball pretty well. And they said that, and also in the press conferences, he said that he's been throwing the ball since March. So that is really, really, phenomenal. I mean, that was like what, 4 months after his knee. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So it seemed like he's a little bit ahead of schedule. I know they're not going to do anything crazy to say like, hey, we want to really watch what he do, and they're just going to keep him limited. And I think that's the most important thing, because at the end of the day, personally, I think he's our franchise quarterback. I mean, I would love to see Tua, get some reps or whatever. And if he does great, I'm all for it, because that helps the team at the end of the day. But I don't think Tua is the long-term, solution. Even if he does get an extension, I don't see Tua getting no more than 3 years. Michael Penix do good. You're probably seeing him getting maybe like a 6-7 year deal, or something like that, if they still do those. But still, nevertheless, I would love to see, Michael Penix to get into that role, but you got to start somewhere, right? You got to keep moving to where you want to be, and this is the only route that he has to go right now, just to take the steps in OTAs and see where it goes, and hopefully everything will work out. But with that being said, I don't have much else to say. I do believe that this is a benefit for the Falcons, even for Michael Penix. You want him to be out there. I think he is the better quarterback out of everybody that's there. But you know, at the end of the day, if he's hurt, it's not much we can do, right? It's not much you can do. But like I said, if he's ready to go, I'm all for it, and I'm definitely going to be rooting for him 100%. Like I said, I mean, I think I want him to be great. I absolutely do. But injuries are injuries, man, and you just don't want to see that happen. Even with Tua, you know what I mean? Same thing. But with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all, I'm out. Peace.